music is owned by them. The remainder of the music will not be coming out. I will always continue to make music. Thank you for everyone who's supported me. I can't wait to release more music at some point at a later time, but for now, there is nothing on the horizon. I'm so sorry, and I love you guys. Thank you.
Now, all of a sudden, he died in a helicopter crash 3 weeks after he got out of his deal. And now he independent, he about to drop an album, all this so cool shit. He died in a helicopter crash. And get this, it's him and 4 other people on his helicopter. How many people was in a helicopter that crashed into them? It was one singular person. Too many coincidences ain't no coincidence at all.
After making tens of millions of dollars over 8 years for Atlantic Records, they no longer want to support my art because I'm not making songs for TikTok.
Now, before we even get into the video, y'all, I want to ask y'all, the viewers, something. At what point do things continue to happen and y'all stop calling it a coincidence after it keeps on happening the same way, just to different people? Like, when does something no longer feels like a conspiracy theory or just a coincidence to y'all? Because I need to know. It seems like no matter how much proof or evidence we have that something isn't right, instead of speaking against it when the opportunity presents itself because the proof is in our faces, we just sit there and turn a blind eye. And I can go over a bunch of scenarios within the entertainment industry when we were told details in regards to a situation that just didn't make sense or add up to what we knew about it, but for some reason or another, we just didn't question it. But ironic enough, if someone was to come out and accuse the industry of some type of foul play or pointed the finger at some of y'all favorite artists, then some of y'all would immediately find all the reasons why the information isn't true and saying the source ain't credible or label the source a conspiracy theorist. But in fact, here's one example of a situation that never made sense, but somehow we just let it slide and never said anything about it. Pop Smoke. We were told that the people that intruded the Airbnb that he was staying at the night he was unalive, the suspects came through the window, right on the balcony. They explained this whole false story about him being in the shower and the suspects coming through the balcony window, coincidentally landing themselves right into the same bathroom Pop Smoke just happened to be in. He noticed them, he tried to run away and get away while he was completely naked and was shot multiple times in the back. As they left, they would kick him and spit on him while he was on the ground. Oh, and not to mention, before that they claimed first that he was on the phone when everything happened, and the girl he was on the phone with called the police in LA all the way from New York as well. Right? So long story short, all that was BS. When we seen the surveillance video they provided us that was released of the alleged suspects entering the house, they came in through the back while the door was completely unlocked as they made their way into the house, and the rest is history. So to this day, we don't know what truly happened, but that's just one of the many incidents that happened we hear about and still manage to look the other way instead of asking questions. Therefore, today we have another scenario where the details are blatant and somehow many people are still not even outraged by it, nor do they even seem to care. But I would say this, if you are currently a music artist and you are signed to a label, you need to pay attention ASAP and be very careful, because unfortunately you can end up just like Oliver Tree, and I'll explain how and why. Now, many of us have been hearing the name Oliver Tree for the past few days now, and honestly, I'll be lying if I sat here and told y'all that I knew who he was up until recently when he would lose his life. But according to many, Oliver Tree was actually a big deal, sold a lot of records, and has had a successful music career, all whilst going viral on social media for the same music trend and being a part of dance trends all over TikTok. But as they say, sometimes the same thing that make you laugh may end up making you cry. And I think we can agree that the common problem we've been hearing about within that industry is that the labels try to force the artists to do what they say or whatever they deem profitable. And when you don't want to do so, it seems like you either shelved or you just stopped hearing about the artists because they stopped pumping money behind them, and then they kind of go downhill. Now, some say, well, if the label wants you to do something all in the favor of making money, why wouldn't you? But if you're a real music lover, you understand that most musicians make music for them. Real musicians make music based on their feelings and trying to express themselves in an artistic form. However, the people at these labels don't want to hear that. They only understand and care about profit, and if you're not delivering just that, they don't have time for you. Or it's a conspiracy that many of these same musicians who do generate profit when they decide to leave their labels and try to do things on their own because they no longer want to be controlled, something ends up happening to them. Whether it's a big scandal, jail, or even worse, death. And whether you believe it or not to be true, you can't deny that there's been a pattern amongst these same people. And it happens to be that every artist that has success, when they try to walk away from their labels, suddenly you start hearing about scandals against them that you never even heard before. And I think the most notable example of that as of recent has to be Drake. Drake has made his start in the music industry back in 2008. He's been signed to multiple people his whole damn career, and we haven't heard anything being wrong with him since he's been in the game. But suddenly all of that will change, and we can't help to notice that all of that would change coincidentally at the same time where he chose to go independent, leaving his current label, UMG. Actually, the same label he also has a lawsuit out against, including the likes of CEO Lucien Grange, who was also included in the Diddy case, but somehow we stopped hearing about him, along with others, but that's another story. But aside from Drake, you had the late Biggie, who they say was supposed to leave Bad Boy and pursue his own label with Junior Mafia, and suddenly he was mysteriously unalived in a manner in which it's still debatable on what actually happened to him.
Big was leaving the label. Big wanted his marketing back. Big wanted his publishing back. So he found out as being an artist, yo, the money is in the publishing.
Then you have Tory Lanez, who was getting out of his deal, refused to sign with Roc Nation, and then suddenly we seen him get involved in that Meg Thee Stallion situation, which currently has him locked up right now, despite that whole trial being weird and unusual within itself. Not to mention, we can't forget when Tory told the world how he cracked the industry and found a way to cut the labels out of the equation, where now he himself can make just as much as money as them, finally off his own music without needing the label. And I think we all knew that that was a no-no.
Bought 5, some people bought 60. It doesn't matter how much you bought. It was only $1. You spent $60, you bought 60. I need y'all to understand, one of those copies right now is going for 50,000, 60,000, 60,000. Yo, my nigga, and these are sold. They're sold. Go look at the list right now and see how small the sellers list is getting. Y'all don't understand what the is going on? Y'all don't understand I just cracked the industry? Y'all don't understand I just cracked it? I just cracked this whole shit. It's cracked. It's over. I cracked the whole shit. It's over. When you, it's over. No more middleman. All y'all artists out there, your label, the nigga that's telling you, yo, you gotta wait for this day on Spotify and on this, that. Nigga, it's over.
Then we have the infamous Michael Jackson, who fought that whole music industry almost his whole career by himself, most notably Sony Records, where he would call out Tommy Mottola, call him the devil.
The devil. I'm not supposed to say what I'm gonna say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it.
Please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. And Sony, being the artist that I am, at Sony, I've generated several $1 billion for Sony, several billion, and they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them.
Yeah.
So we can't let them get away with what they're trying to do, because now I'm a free agent. I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. It's with 2 new songs, which I've written ages ago. Because every album that I record, I write, like, literally, I'm telling you the truth, I write at least 120 songs every album I do. So I can do the box set and just give them any 2 songs. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent, owning half of Sony. So I own half of Sony's, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, you know.
Then you have Tupac, who was said to have been planning on leaving Death Row and starting his own label with his Outlaws crew, and coincidentally he was also taken out in a mystery fashion, similar to his friend turned rival Biggie Smalls. Then not to mention, just recently Daz would do an interview exposing that Tupac was in fact planning on leaving Death Row and do his own thing, and at the time of his untimely demising, everybody knew that that's what was going on, allegedly.
Do you think Pac was leaving Death Row?
I mean, shit, he had 3 album deal. He dropped 2 already, was working on the next one, and he said he was going to do his thing with Quincy Jones, and that I want to come, you know? So, you know, I mean, I was all with it, you know? And then next thing I know, Suge Knight stepped back in the picture, and now I hear Death Row East. So, you know, I just, you know, I produced for Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Anything he wanted, I was giving it to him, music-wise.
I never heard you say that before, man. I never heard that story. So Pac, he wanted you to come with him?
Yeah, because he allowed me and Corrupt to be a part of the Outlaws. He gave Corrupt the name Young Gotti, and he told me, what's your name gonna be? I told him my name gonna be Daz Dillinger. I'm a thief, I rob. And so, you know, we was the only 2 outside of the Outlaws to be in the Outlaws. And, you know, whatever he wanted from me as a production, I gave it to him.
Now, aside from all those people, the person who was the most recent and most obvious of them all would have to be Angie Stone. We did a video based on her calling out her label UMG, the same label that Drake is currently suing, and the same label that was accused back in the day for the same thing he's suing them for, which they settled in a multi-million-dollar settlement. However, Angie Stone went live and would expose that she found out that the label, allegedly, stole a bunch of money from her. She had documents proving it and said that if she's not compensated for her music and everything they took from her, she was going to expose them further. This is because she audited the label and found out that she was not only owed money, but a lot was stolen from her. This is because she was trying to figure out, after having very successful songs and a music career that was pretty successful, why her bank account didn't resemble that same success, and why she still needed to perform at her age after all the success she had.
If you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made. But there are key people that have been driving the ships, and what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. And even though they were taking care of themselves, they thought very little of taking care of me. One way or the other, Universal Music, you're gonna have to give up my coin.
Well, let's just say after going live and threatening to expose it all, shortly after, she would lose her life in a car accident. And get this, there was 8 other people in the car with her. Somehow, she was the only one that lost her life in that accident. How ironic. Now, there's a lot of mystery and questions surrounding her death. I'll let y'all dig for that, but I said all that to get to this point here. Oliver Tree. This is because a few days ago, Oliver Tree lost his life in a helicopter crash, coincidentally shortly after he did a little expose of himself. And according to reports, while the 32-year-old musician was on a world tour, which should just show you how successful his music was, his helicopter crashed over Brazil in Rio de Janeiro on Sunday, June 14, 2026. The crash occurred just before 9 a.m. local time, when his helicopter, including him and 5 others, would collide with another helicopter. Oliver and the 5 others, including the pilot and his helicopter, will lose their life, and the sole pilot and the other helicopter will lose their life as well. One of the helicopters came crashing down into an electric vehicle yard, resulting in at least 20 cars catching fire from the impact, which was extinguished by the military fire department. As of right now, investigators are trying to find out what may have caused the crash, and more details will be released as the investigation is ongoing. Now, before I get into the conspiracies and coincidences, as of a few hours ago, a video was released where it's an extension of the first video we seen, where we seen 2 helicopters falling out the sky. Not going to play the whole thing due to YouTube and their guidelines, but in this newly released video, they would claim that the reason the helicopters collided is because they were racing. Y'all check this out. Now, off rip, them trying to push this narrative that his helicopter was racing another one, already seems off. But that's the narrative being pushed right now on social media, and we wasn't there to say whether it happened or not, so it just is what it is. However, let's get into a few coincidences and point out a few things that kind of don't make sense. So let me ask y'all a few questions. Is it a coincidence that Oliver just 2 months ago shared plans on what he was going to do with his money after he passed away?
Any of the wealth or the things that get made from it is mine. And so when I die, I've set it up, my will is set up that when I pass, my family, no one's gonna get a penny. If I have a wife or kids or anything, not getting a fucking penny. I'll get my kids through college. That's the agreement, but they're not gonna be a silver spoon. They're taken care of because my dad worked on some stuff in the 2000s. You know, like the idea is when I die, all the money's gonna go back to artists. So I've set up a foundation. It's called Dr. Oliver Tree's Art Grants for Baby Geniuses. And it's set up so that basically the interest generated from my music will take mostly that, but there's also room for other money because when I die, my art will continue to have residuals and probably be worth more than it is now.
Or is it a coincidence that he said in his song Hurt that he wasn't going to be on this earth that long because he had already sold his soul? The lyrics will read, quote, "My day will come, I gave too much. I sold my soul, I'm waiting for my pay in full. I only want your dying love, I've seen enough." Or is it a coincidence that after his death, Tribute Red would make a post, a cryptic one, with the one-eyed symbolism after he passed away? Well, it is even more of a coincidence that just a month ago during the interview, he also said that it was ideal for him to lose his life jumping from a helicopter, which is kind of crazy, but it was a month ago and it involved a helicopter.
What's your dream way of dying?
So this sounds fake, but this is actual factual information. So I knew someone, I don't want to say the country because I don't want to get in trouble and I want to be able to go back to that country, but basically I know someone who was working, his family worked against a specific government in Central America. I can't say the specific country, but he was basically a traitor and the government found out and they threw his uncle off of a helicopter into a volcano. I feel like the volcano is just the most classic way to go.
Yeah.
And think about it. How did he die?
Right. But
he fell, or maybe he even jumped. You know, it's like he jumped in a volcano. That sounds epic.
Yeah.
Now let's get into a deeper coincidence where just 2 months ago he would come out and tell the world that he's parting ways with his label Atlantic Records because he made them a lot of money, but somehow they aren't really supporting him, I guess due to his choice of music or how he wants to go about it.
Just got word that my album is no longer coming out. Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare. I have no marketing budgets for music videos, no digital ad spend. Nobody really cares in the building, it seems like. I made a lot of money for Atlantic Records, and they don't seem to remember that. I have gotten no support. They forgot to ingest multiple songs into the system, which means the songs didn't come out. I had a Valentine's Day breakout song that didn't even get released because someone forgot to put it in. I don't really understand how that's possible. I've made them tens of millions of dollars, but they don't remember that. So, the music is owned by them. The remainder of the music will not be coming out. I will always continue to make music. Thank you for everyone who's supported me. I can't wait to release more music at some point at a later time, but for now, there is nothing on the horizon. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. Thank you.
And if you're big on numerology and things of that nature, this one's for you. Because as I went to his TikTok for the video, I couldn't help but realize that he uploaded that video explaining his departure from Atlantic on 4/1/2026. Ironically, he was unalived in the helicopter incident on 6/14/2026. Now, if that wasn't enough, he will also address the public again concerning how he's being treated with Atlantic and will state that this time he's not being granted artistic direction for his album and they're trying to force him to make music surrounding TikTok trends. Check this out.
I left my record label, let's talk about it. After making tens of millions of dollars over 8 years for Atlantic Records, they no longer want to support my art because I'm not making songs for TikTok. And after dedicating my entire life to making art, I never got into this to make TikTok songs. I know the effects of TikTok. I've had multiple songs that connected there, but that's not why I got into making art. Over the last 2.5 years, I traveled 82 countries and recorded this album on all 7 continents. These are the types of projects that charge me as an artist. This is why I got into it in the first place. And just because I'm not making songs for TikTok means that the label doesn't want to support the vision. Well, guess what?
Just a month before his death, Oliver Tree reportedly walked away from Atlantic Records because he felt they no longer supported his artistic vision and wanted music that was more TikTok friendly. Then, only weeks later, he dies in a helicopter crash in Brazil. There's no evidence connecting these events, and right now it's only speculation, but the timing has sparked conspiracy theories across the internet. Fans are asking, was it simply a tragic coincidence, or is there a deeper story we'll never fully understand? What do you guys think?
Hold up, y'all. There's no way you're watching this video for free right now, where you could be getting paid literally just for playing games while this video play in the background at the same time. Only difference is the increase in your bank account. Now, I'm not saying you'll get rich, but I am saying that you could easily make something while doing nothing except for sitting on the couch playing games if you download the app Free Cash. Tap or click the link I pinned in the comment section or scan the QR code that I put right here on the screen. Also, if you use my link right now, they give you a little something to start off with just for signing up. So if you want a little Uber Eats or something to snack on and don't feel like dipping into your own wallet, play a few games so you don't have to spend your own ends. Now let's get back to the video. Now let me say this, it's either one or two things going on here. He lost his life for exposing his label allegedly and also trying to cut ties with them, knowing that he's generating millions of dollars. As y'all know, in that industry, it seemed like if you generated enough money for a group of people, once you try to get away from them, it's almost like impossible. Unless you're a rapper that hasn't generated much money and they don't care about you. But more than likely, an artist that tries to go independent and is still successful music-wise and cut the money off from that label, it won't look too good for you. Trust me. Let's be clear, we're not accusing anybody of anything. This is all alleged, and all we're doing is pointing out certain patterns that we can't help but see that take place in that industry. Now, another thing is this, it's always been a running rumor within that industry that artists also like faking their deaths just to get away from the public and live regular lives. That, or they just rather not be under the chains of a label no more, or be an artist, period. Tupac went through this when his death would be so mysterious that at his funeral there wasn't even an open casket. And that just made everything stranger, being that everyone always believed that Pac predicted his own demise in the first place, as he left a bunch of blues clues in his music and ended up going by the alias Machiavelli. The name stems from an Italian author and philosopher born in 1469 who advocated for people to fake their death in his writings. His death was even mysterious when he passed away in 1527, but you gotta do your own homework to figure that one out. Now, I bring that up because there's been a lot of questionable things surrounding his passing, but with all this going on, I wonder what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about Oliver Green's death? And let me know if y'all think it may be a hoax or not. Do y'all think he was taken out for trying to part ways from his label allegedly or not? Or do y'all think it's not that deep and he was just involved in a simple helicopter crash where he just lost his life? Let us know what y'all think. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out. Hold up, y'all. There's no way you're watching this video for free right now, where you could be getting paid literally just for playing games while this video play in the background at the same time. Only difference is the increase in your bank account. Now, I'm not saying you'll get rich, but I am saying that you could easily make something while doing nothing except for sitting on the couch playing games if you download the app Free Cash. Tap or click the link I pinned in the comment section or scan the QR code that I put right here on the screen. Also, if you use my link right now, they give you a little something to start off with just for signing up. So if you want a little Uber Eats or something to snack on and don't feel like dipping into your own wallet, play a few games so you don't have to spend your own ends. Now let's get back to the video.